Hey everyone, welcome to Buick Outdoors. If you're new around here, my name is Sheldon Marion, and I'm joined by Shelby today, along with a group of paleontologists from the Royal BC Museum. And we just finished up doing a video on a bit of a non-disclosed area where I recently found a new dinosaur trackway site. And today we went there with the paleontologist, and it is actually confirmed that it is a new discovery. So that's pretty cool on our end. If you want to check that out, I'll put a link in the description below. And now today we're continuing on, and they're actually out here doing some field work, and they asked us to join them. So without further ado, we'll go over to the paleontologist, and they'll kind of let us know what they found so far and the work that they're doing. And yeah, they're gonna put us to work in the heat. And it sounds like we're going to be doing some excavating with them and potentially finding even more dinosaur tracks. So yeah, come along. Watch out, buddy.
Right under you guys. This one.
You found it.
You found it.
Boys, come here.
So that's a four-toed print. And this is actually what Teague has been working on as part of their thesis.
Okay.
At the university, is trying to figure out what we should call that. And then what kind of dinosaur made it, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you kind of leaning more towards it's like a meat eater?
It's definitely a meat eater.
Okay.
And then what kind of meat eater is the question. So
Oh, yeah.
I'll keep that secret for now.
Yeah, for sure.
But it is cool. Yeah, and then what we're doing, yesterday was our first day, so we just kind of set up, and you can see we've like marked a grid in, so there's all these little dots and like letters and numbers.
Oh, okay.
Because we make a map, that's what that square is for, so we'll be doing some mapping. And we put green dots on the ones we've already done, so we can stop being like, which one did we do already? And
Yeah.
all of that. And then we're also doing a little bit of excavating, again, under a permit. So if you guys want to help do some digging today,
Sure.
you are very welcome to help do some digging. So
Works for me. Put me to
Cool.
work.
sounds good.
I put you guys to work on the river
Yeah,
there.
no, it was good. So there's also absolutely like no, like you are not obligated to, but if you would like to,
Oh, yeah.
put your hands in the dirt.
And definitely drink lots of water today with it being so hot.
Yeah.
There's not really any shade except for as it gets later into the afternoon.
shadier as the
the
afternoon
trees
goes
on the that side of the quarry are gonna.
Yeah, on the way in, I was like, we're probably gonna have to go put the dogs in the truck at some point with the AC on.
Yeah,
That's fair.
but it is the shade will stay and get larger.
Yeah, the shade just sort of grows and grows. So it's like in the late afternoon, you know, when it's really hot and you're like, man, I just need somewhere, and then you just go sit under the trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to decide if I should just.
The stuff I was afraid of having.
Derek, were you picturing putting glue like over the whole surface,
I-
or just along the cracks?
Well, along the cracks for sure.
Yeah.
I would do it against
I just feel like
like,
it could kind of
all
split a bit.
all of the track.
Yeah.
And
that's
then all the radiating cracks out ideally, because we're gonna have to flip it over to get the gypsona on it.
Yeah, yeah.
So it has to hold up to.
What is that? Did a bird poop on this over there?
So with
so,
this,
yeah.
was
Ooh.
this a slab that came off
Yeah,
of that?
this
Yeah,
one
that was off there,
lifted
yeah.
up from right here.
Yeah.
They were
Okay.
digging, and we weren't really expecting to hit footprints yet. But then, so this print right here, 1, 2, 3 toes, are the same as those 3 toes, and it would just came out all in one piece.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, John flipped it up.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, and so there's some more tracks, it looks like, on this layer as well. So yeah, there's going to be uncovering that for a bit, see what's going on, and see how it compares to what we've got down here at the lower level. And yeah.
So at the end of the day, we were just pushing back just the really loose stuff, the soils kind of, and then we're gonna try to get back into this layer.
Oh, okay. Nifty.
We've got something, we're not sure if we've located the bird tracks, but there's a weird print up here that could be bird or it could be pterosaur, but it's a little strange. This one might be bird. So you see, you can tell bird from dinosaur because birds have their toes super, super wide.
Oh, yeah.
So this one is, well, I mean, this toe is actually pointing kind of the wrong direction. So we've got 2 front ways and one kind of going off here. So it could be bird or it might be like a pterosaur. We're not 100% certain, but it's definitely something a little bit weird.
Cool. Yeah, what I found too is every once in a while you'll find like one maybe sort of kind of track.
Yeah.
And then as you start walking, you're like, oh, there's an actual like trackway here.
Yeah. Well, and then they crisscross too. So sometimes you get something that's like, is that a track? And then you realize that it's like one dinosaur was going this way, another one was going this way, and the tracks are overlaid, and you're like, that has too many toes. What's going on?
Yeah, no kidding. A 3-toe turns into a 6-toe, and
Yeah.
yeah.
It's going in two directions.
The 12-toed meat eater.
But yeah, we have some. We have another track site on the west coast, and some of them, yeah, they're like dinosaurs going in two different directions, and some of them it looks like they're just literally heel to heel, like one going one way, one going the other.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it's definitely a dinosaur going, or two different dinosaurs in two different directions. But it's fun to imagine, you know, it's like, well, they just turn their legs sideways and waddle around.
Yeah. There's a giant highway.
Yeah.
Duckosaurus.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I think we're gonna look around here for a little bit, and then we'll come over and give you guys a hand when you need it. And
sounds good. Yeah, we'll
Right on.
probably, when we're set up here, we'll get digging here shortly. Do you want a hand, Kala? Or are you good? Okay.
Moving it to the shade, because why not?
Yeah.
The red mud path.
all right, so yesterday they discovered a new track that was kind of in a layer there. They're already talking about it, but this is the slab that they pulled up. And so what she was saying is this glue that she's putting on there, it's more like acetone type glue, you're saying?
Yeah, so it's basically just plastic beads dissolved down in acetone.
Okay.
So the acetone evaporates and the plastic is just left behind.
Okay, so then you fill in all these cracks, and that way you're able to transport it. And then when it gets back to the lab, if they're wanting to remove it, they're able to kind of dissolve the glue and everything like that. And then from there, you just kind of go on about your business. Like, what happens when you take the glue off?
So
Or
with
if
this
you have
one,
to.
we'll kind of actually want the glue, a little of the glue to always stay, to always fill in the cracks.
Oh, okay.
But what I'll do is clean it up a little bit so you don't just have all these kind of smear marks.
Mm-hmm.
I'll distribute the glue a lot more evenly, so I'll have one full
Oh, okay.
surface of it.
So
And
for now,
that'll-
you just
yeah,
put on a thick layer just to transport it home.
Exactly, just to make sure that I'm soaking into the cracks enough to make it stick
Oh,
together
okay.
enough.
Cool.
This is my canoeing.
But yeah, this is the glue we use for all of our prep work.
Okay.
So if there's anything that like I glue back together wrong, or the glue just doesn't, or like it slips, doesn't set right, then I can just fix my mistake,
Oh, okay.
which is why we use these ones instead of something like a crazy glue.
Mm-hmm. Is this the same kind of glue that they use when they're like pulling the bones out too, or they put like the plasters on it, or is that totally different?
Nope, same thing. Yeah.
Same thing? Oh, cool.
Yeah, this is what I use in the lab. This is what we use in the field. Kind of like the gold standard for
Yeah, just like a,
quality.
yeah.
You can kind of see how the glue will pull in into the cracks.
Yeah, it just kind of draws itself in there. Hey?
Yeah, exactly. So I'll just keep dripping until it seems like it's full.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna pick your brain about kind of everything, I guess. Whatever you feel comfortable sharing.
Yeah, that sounds fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll stand up so that we're...
Alright. So, what exactly are you doing?
What are we doing? Yeah, so we are here studying the site. We're trying to understand like how the footprints formed, like what dinosaurs made them.
Oh, okay.
How, like, why they're all here specifically, what that tells us about the environment and everything. So the way that we're doing that is making a really detailed map. So you can see that we've got like a grid laid out where things are like numbered.
Okay.
And then we're going through, we have this grid square and we draw on pieces of paper, like grid paper, basically like what we're seeing. And then after we do all of that, it gets like digitized on my computer and we'll sort of put all the pieces together. We also do things like identifying like what each track is and taking measurements on it and making notes about the geology. And yeah, so we're on sort of year 2 of this.
Okay.
And it'll be like a multi-year project probably. And
Yeah.
but basically the goal is to be like, what dinosaurs are here? What are they doing? What does that tell us about dinosaurs in BC, basically?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially for a place like this too, because it's not just one track. It's a highway of like.
Yeah.
I can't remember how many, it was like 12 different dinosaurs?
It's so I would say like conservatively at least like five or six. But there's also some that might be very faint or hard to see that I haven't spotted yet that a couple of other paleontologists have said they've seen here.
Oh, okay.
So there's supposed to be some like bird tracks here, and I just like haven't spotted them yet because I think they're really faint and everything. But I'm sure they're here because they should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got like a big long neck dinosaur here. There's a big meat eater. There's a small meat eater. There's a big plant eater. There's a small plant eater. So that's at least like 5 or 6 right there. And to me, one of the interesting things that's missing is an armored dinosaur, because we know they exist elsewhere in this area, but we just haven't seen them like right here.
Yeah.
And they leave pretty distinctive footprints. So, and the other thing that we're going to do here under our like permit to do this work is we're doing a little bit of excavating to uncover some more area and just see where some of the tracks go from there.
Oh, okay.
And that's sort of the main big goal. Is just it's a really cool big track site, and we just want to know more about it.
Yeah. And is it common to see like the meat eaters with the grass eaters kind of thing?
Yeah, so I think one of the important things to remember is that like not all these dinosaurs walked here at like exactly the same time.
Oh, okay.
And we don't know exactly how much time is represented by
So this is more or less like a travel corridor.
It could be like a travel corridor. It could be, you know, kind of like a mud flat or like along a river or near a water source.
Oh, okay.
That lots of animals are coming to. And you can see that some of the footprints are really smushy looking. Like it was obviously like kind of wet here. The dinosaurs have like sunk in a fair bit. Sometimes you can almost see them like slipping a little bit or like getting stuck and kind of like pulling themselves like through. So that's one of the questions too, is just like, can we see like any interactions between the dinosaurs? Like, are they, is it like a meat eater going after a plant eater?
Yeah.
Or is it, we might not be able to tell, or is it just kind of a surface that lots of dinosaurs were coming and going across for at least a couple of days or weeks, and as the surface kind of like dried out and hardened, and then it got covered and then turned into fossil footprints.
Cool.
Yeah.
So part of that, like if a meat eater was going after like a plant eater, would you be able to tell, kind of like tracking almost like an apex predator, where you can see how their tracks are real close together and then all of a sudden their tracks widen?
I think that's super interesting. Like, not as someone who hasn't really like done a lot of like hunting or like tracking animals outside, I don't know as much about like what I would look for today.
Yeah.
One of the challenges is that it's really hard to tell like that far back. So some of the clues that people have used to argue for like things are as if like the dinosaur changes direction and then the other, like the meat eater, changes direction. Or if you see dinosaurs kind of spaced like a uniform distance apart, that might be ones that were like traveling together. Like, you know, that's kind of them walking side by side or things like that. But maybe like as we get the map all together and we can kind of look at it in total, we might be able to sort of see like, okay, well, this dinosaur came here first and then this one crossed it. And then this one's kind of coming along behind and following the curve of a track, and that would be kind of interesting to see. So, or if you have like a dinosaur like walking and then it like radically changes direction as like another one comes in, that could maybe be a clue. So I haven't seen anything like that here yet, but there's a lot of footprints, and it's, you know, just trying to figure out like, okay, this is one individual going this way and this is another going another way, is like tricky sometimes here. So.
Well, it's hard to tell too, because you'll see a three-toed going one way, and then all of a sudden you have another three-toed where it could be the same one turning real quick. Or it could be just another one
that's crossing over. So I'm kind of hoping as we like do this really detailed, like fine-grained map, some of that might be a little bit more obvious. Or it might not. So that's the problem with fossils. Sometimes you can figure it out, sometimes you can't figure it out. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, this is all nifty stuff. Like
it's a really cool special site, and and we're really interested in studying it right now, especially because a few years ago there was some vandalism at this site where people tried to cut some footprints out and then they got destroyed in the process. And so the goal is to really try to document as much as we can before any more vandalism might happen. People are not supposed to do that, but obviously it's like really hard to stop people from doing that at like a publicly accessible spot like this.
For sure.
This is pretty remote, but it's also simultaneously kind of accessible. So it's and we can't have someone like guarding it all the time. So, but So we definitely don't want people to vandalize stuff. If you see footprints or things like this outdoors, you know, leave them alone.
Yeah.
For other people to enjoy. And if you think it's a new site, you can report it to the Fossil Management Office or your local museum or BC Parks or wherever you are. And in particular, yeah, if you're in a provincial park, don't touch stuff.
Yeah.
Like, period. But people want to know, and then sometimes like groups like us might come out and study them or take a look and realize it's something really interesting and special. So yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time, and
Yeah.
I'm glad to be out here.
Yeah, it's
Kind of
fun.
giving you guys a hand where we can. And
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Super
it's
fun. Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
Okay.
We've got some people here today, so
Okay, so we can go
yeah,
in
we could.
like a couple meters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get
Sounds good.
down to this layer of rock here.
It would just be nice to sort of understand like the density on that layer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, if we could get, you know, half a dozen footprints or something on that layer.
Or I mean, maybe not even that much, but
Maybe-
just like
maybe
just to
three,
see, like
two.
just like three.
Is
Is it comparable to this, or,
or
is
is
that
it
just
just
did we
like,
hit the
oops.
one footprint?
just the one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yep.
mean, so it for sure isn't just the one because I see another one.
Right. Yeah.
Where do you see the other one?
Right.
Back up. Back up. Let's
I'm
back up.
helping. I want to
Here?
It's
see.
very easy to see. Yesterday.
Was it over
It
here?
was right here.
Oh.
1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably one.
So there's at least those two.
But is that even at the same layer, or is this the sort of the
So
upper
this is
layer
kinda like
again?
This is
over
the
it?
this is the one that one came from.
Right.
So if
Yeah.
we pop that up, we'd probably see it better.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you pop this one up, you'll see that.
Right.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That seems to be a nice layer that wants to release.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But it is not the actual tracking there, which is
Yeah.
a slight issue.
Here, yeah, we're gonna go further back. You can lean on or kneel on here if you want. So this stuff, if you kind of root through it with the geology pick,
Yep.
you get it loose,
And then sweep
and
it
then
up.
you can feel that rock layer underneath.
Yep.
And then you can either sweep it or use the spade
Okay.
to just keep pushing it back.
Yeah. And
Just
then
try
we're-
not to get underneath any layers and accidentally pull it up.
That's
eh?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to clean off the surface first, so that when we are lifting layers up, we can see what's there.
Okay.
So that's why we sweep it all off first, and then once we get down to that layer, then we're gonna start chipping away at the rock. We need to get this other stuff off.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the same thing I do when I'm looking at regular old fossils, where you can find like shale layers,
Yeah.
and like I'll grab a chisel and just kind of
Yep.
twist
Right.
and pop and
So I'm thinking that the goal for today is once we get that exposed, then we'll start peeling this gently off to
Okay.
see if we can find some more tracks.
yeah, for sure.
But like we're pretty sure that there's one right here.
Mm.
Is it there?
Yeah, and then you
Yeah,
can see
but
the
it's on
one
the upper
layer
layer.
right here, eh?
Yeah.
So he
But
was.
that's part of his toe.
I think he was saying that there was like 2 toes there or something. So if we lift that off, then we'll probably be able to see another track.
Okay,
I think is what Teague said.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he was saying.
cool.
That's good.
Well, Shelby's getting to work here, so
Yeah, and there's more pails and buckets too, but we can share for now, and then
Awesome.
once we fill it up, we'll take it back into the trees in an unobtrusive spot.
and then dig it up in a couple of years, and
Well, we're not really planning on exposing a huge amount on this bottom layer here.
Oh, okay.
Why we started digging here is we wanted to find more of the 4-toed prints, actually, because they're pretty rare. And we thought, well, maybe if it's coming walking in from this direction,
Yeah.
hi, you're a goof, aren't you? Then, you know, there'd be more tracks here. But then we hit a second layer that's what's sitting on top of it. So
Yeah.
now we got to figure out what's going on with that.
alrighty. Cool. Well, we're happy to help, and we'll definitely get to work here for you guys.
Well, we have taken a bunch of, we were talking about the photogrammetry photos, so to reconstruct. And then, yeah, you
Oh,
did the
okay.
LiDAR, or Soto did the LiDAR and then sent us a copy.
Yeah. So what I'm doing here with Shelby is that we're taking these picks and we're basically pulling off the big top layer of everything, and once we get down to close to the rock, come in with the brushes and we start to expose the sheet of rock. That way, if there's any tracks and stuff in there, we don't accidentally pull them up with the picks and potentially damage the tracks. So slow, methodical process, but it definitely makes you appreciate when they find these tracks, and it's a lot of work in this heat, but it's pretty enjoyable. Plus, it's pretty cool for little rock nerds like us. So over here, they got their measuring tape out, and it looks like they're going through all of their little targets here, but I'll let Victoria.
Yeah, well, so there's little X's painted onto the surface, but in some places they've worn off. So what we're doing is adding them in where they're missing. So we've got it lined up against a couple that we know are here. And then we're just going meter by meter and adding a few in so that we can then do some mapping. Yeah, nothing too fancy, to be honest.
Yeah.
Very low tech.
It's just slow, methodical work,
Yeah.
eh?
Yep.
That kind of seems to be the name of the game with this paleontology stuff. It's a lot of hands and knees, crawling, pictures, mapping, notes. And if you like to play in chalk, you get to do that a lot too.
Oh yeah. Very scientific.
Yeah,
Sidewalk chalk.
perfect.
Okay.
If the red one goes missing, it wasn't me.
Okay, so we're in AB level.
And they certainly shouldn't have been out here for whatever it was, the 5 years that they were left. That would have been...
So on AB, when you're doing your grid, you got AB.
Yeah,
AC,
we're mostly at
AD.
ABs because we already went through the whole alphabet that way.
Oh, yeah.
So we got to Z, and then we started over again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have AA, AB, and then this is all just 1 meter.
Yeah, exactly.
Per-
So the numbers go that way, and the letters go this way.
Okay.
And then they're oriented to north here.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's why it's kind of at like an angle across the, or feels like it's at an angle across the surface.
So then by the time you're all done, like the mapping and stuff like that, basically this whole slab will just be one giant picture that's all gridded.
Yeah, exactly. And what we do, so last year we had done one of the grids in this quadrant.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is basically fill in the other ones,
Mm-hmm.
drawing them, and then they all get their own little numbers. So we know exactly like what track is what.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then we like measure and take notes about like each thing. And yeah,
Cool.
it's just a little bit slow and tedious though.
Yeah.
So that was the 5 level. So 5.
Well, we definitely appreciate you guys letting us come out here and
Yeah, of course.
help, and I'm sure you appreciate a little bit of the help that we're doing
It's
too.
always nice to have a little bit more digging.
Yeah.
I
One
won't
less
complain
bucket
about
you gotta
that.
dig up over there.
Right. More people need more stuff gets done.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we're going to just try to keep, run roughly parallel with the other exposed rocks. So we're just kind of cutting back another 2 meters or so. See what's under there.
Oh, maybe
you think
seeds?
those are
Alrighty.
seeds?
So
That's
what
a
I've been
different idea.
finding here,
That makes
as I've been
sense.
clearing this top layer, getting down
Oh,
to
yeah,
this
like-
hard stuff where the tracks are,
Helicopters, for lack of a better word.
I've been finding a bunch of small little fossils. You can't really see it in this one too great.
Here's one. Okay.
Yeah, so all this little black stuff here, it kind of looks like leaves, but one of the guys here, they're saying that it might be seeds. So we have seeds just a couple inches above where that
And this will be
track is.
angiosperms, so pre-broadleaf trees. So they could just be like monocot leaves, but we could probably take those back and like see if we could ID them, and that's kind of cool. Where did they come from? Like relative to the?
So
right
in here,
Okay,
So
so like
we're
just
only-
right above. Yeah.
2
Cool.
inches above that track,
Yeah. Neat.
and they've all been kind of down like this.
Yeah, and
And
then
I've
you
been
pop them up, and then they're.
Yeah. It's all been underneath, so I've been careful with all this stuff, because even with that one, you can kind of see a little speck.
Yeah, yeah. These ones are nice though.
Yeah.
Those might be nice to just take back just for.
Just as a sample.
Yeah, this is like a little sample of nicely preserved plants. I can go get a little label for them in a bag.
Sure. Well, there you go. Find even more cool stuff. So this here, you got paper towel on there, and that's just regular water.
Yep, just normal water, and then it just creates a separating layer between the plaster
Oh, okay.
and the fossil, so that it's not stuck to it. And then we also kind of do it in this dabby motion, so it sucks in tight.
Yeah.
So you don't have any gaps. So then when the plaster sets, there's no gaps between the plaster and the fossil, so it actually supports it really well.
Oh, okay.
We usually do a couple layers so it doesn't soak through.
The idea behind the jacket is that the plaster and the bandages form both a rigid and strong support for it,
Okay.
so that even if the fossil breaks, the jacket has that strength and will hold everything together.
Oh, okay.
So then we're just dealing with a cracked fossil as opposed to a shattered one.
Yeah. You need a dabber on there, let it soak through, eh?
Yep. Yeah, just make sure the paper towel just tracks into the...
Bite it. You could bite it under a little bit.
Yeah, so this part is pretty simple little process. As long as you don't rip the paper towel, yes?
Yeah, I mean, even if you rip the paper towel, it's a solvable problem because all it is just a barrier layer. So.
And we're doing the underside, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Or like
Or
The top.
not
The original top.
the original top opposite of the cast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some water on there, hold
Very
it
good.
down.
Very good.
I kind of just like do a couple layers until it's not really too see-through anymore.
Oh, okay. So this here is the start of making the plaster.
Yeah, so this is exactly like, we buy these from medical supply stores, but this is what you put to make a cast if you break your arm.
Oh, okay. So you just add water and kind of mix it all in there.
Yeah, get it nice and soaked, mixed in. I probably added a bit more water than I needed. Which is why Chico's looking at me like, are you sure you want to keep pouring?
Yeah, and then it just kind of unravels in a sheet, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. They're pre-rolled, so really handy. And then, I'll just start to go around the edge here.
Okay.
And then, same thing again, I'll try to squish it in as I go.
You want to go that way. I'm trying to do the D here. So I actually waiting to see X. You did the size.
So does this one create like an outer layer, and then from here you just go back and forth?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Probably need to use a couple.
Yeah.
Just zigzag back and forth.
Oh, okay. That's pretty straightforward. And then with this, do you ever use like a stiffer brush
Yeah, I'm trying
to kind of push it in? Or just fingers good enough,
Yeah.
eh?
Yeah. At this point, I kind of need to like smooth out all the holes.
Oh, okay.
So the more you have it smoothed out,
We're
the stronger
going
it'll
all the
be.
way down.
Because then the plaster's filling in the holes. We also will use burlap
Oh,
if
yeah.
we're doing bigger stuff. These are just convenient.
Yeah, burlap is a little more stronger, hey?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh. Aha.
And
So did you
cheaper
find one?
than these.
I thought
Oh.
I had seen one there.
Even better.
Is it right about the right spot?
It is perfect.
One over this way. Okay.
Plastic just kind of dries out your hands a bit too.
That's all right.
Okay.
You got that one?
Yeah, I roll it on, you squish her in. And then how much overhang? Just like an inch or so?
Yeah, just a little bit, and then we can leave it. I made mine a little bit too tight, so we can leave it a little loose so that there's room for it to squish into all the
Okay.
surfaces. When I was wrapping on the edge, I made it a bit too tight, so there's some gaps.
Right here, it has some drag. Yep. Under the, I think it's basically under the metal, but you can put it here. I don't know if you want the wider part. I think I got it. You got it? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, get your finger wet there, it helps out quite a bit.
Okay. Yep. Looks good.
Alrighty, so we're done wrapping up this fossilized footprint here.
Yeah.
We got a few layers. We did one around the edge. We put 3 layers back and forth, and then we did a couple more layers around that edge again just to kind of hold everything in. So now this one, as soon as it dries, it'll be ready to transport, and they'll be taking this back down to, I believe, Victoria. Alrighty, so to give you a recap of what we've done here today with the paleontologist. Yesterday, they exposed this track, so they were trying to expose the rest of this, just a couple of meters of top dirt and real loose rocks, and then that way they can come in here and possibly remove some more of these slabs to see if this trackway continues on, as well as eventually they might come in to some of these other layers. So as I was exposing this stuff in here, underneath I found those small little black specks. At first I thought they were possibly leaves. One of the paleontologists came over and said that they are more or less seeds. So with that being said, they're putting me down as a collector of the seeds on this site, possibly collector or the founder of the other trackway site that we were at earlier today. And now as they're going around, they have all their grids set up and they're mapping it all out and doing all their drawings and measurements. Then that way they can take a real detailed map of this area. And then the track that they exposed yesterday, we have it here. They got it all cleaned up, and then what we did was we put paper towel on there to act like a barrier and put plaster on there, so then now they can transport that back to the museum and do even more science on it. Not exactly sure what they do, but yeah, one more track for their collection. And man, I tell you, it's been a really cool fun day. Shelby got to come out,
Be a nerd.
be a nerd, help us explore some more rocks, expose another track, and she was also part of officially kind of discovering the new trackway site. So all in all, this has been a great day, great couple of videos, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this stuff. And if you did like this, make sure you hit the like button down in the corner, leave us a comment or two. If you want to get into paleontology, the Royal BC Museum down in Victoria is a absolute great place to check out. And make sure you say hi to Victoria if you go over there. She's kind of like the marine curator. And yeah, Don Buick Outdoors sent you, and they'll, who knows, they might give you a little tour, some behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
Don't want to interrupt you, but I think we're gonna be taking off here.
Okay,
We got
sure.
our other dog
Yeah.
sitting at home, but
who's the
yeah.
other dog sitting at home?
Daisy.
Oh.
She's a big couch potato.
Oh, Daisy.
Old
Yeah.
lady Daisy.
Yeah.
Funny. Yeah, well, thanks very much for coming out.
Yeah,
I
no
hope you
problem.
enjoyed digging,
Oh.
doing work for us.
Yeah, it was great.
Did you
Yeah.
tell them about the back at the hotel?
No, I think we're good. So
Oh, we're good?
yeah.
Okay, sure.
But you guys have our. Oh yeah, I'd love if you sent me that photo. Like, there's a great photo of the doggies like sitting
Excellent.
in the track site and everything. Yeah, it was great. Thanks
Yeah.
for showing us the other footprints too.
Oh,
so
yeah, no problem. Thanks for having us out here, and it
Yeah.
was definitely a learning curve.
it was really great.
Yeah.
No, you did great work, and hopefully the plastering was fun.
Yeah.
and the
Oh,
digging was
yeah.
fun.
Gonna go grab
Sorry
some
we didn't quite get to flipping things up, but with the plaster
Oh,
and everything, then you know you sort of take where the day takes you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. No, and it was great just coming out here and
Yeah.
checking everything out, and getting my hands dirty, and Yeah.
Yeah, and we're here for another 10 days, or well, at this point 8 days. So
oh, okay,
if you're, coming by, feel free to stop in. We'll be here.
yeah, for sure.
I'm feeling you're gonna be out like tomorrow morning. You're gonna be like, I want to go flip rocks with them.
I just might,
Stay.
because I don't think I got anything else going, so we'll see.
All right. Well, take care, guys. Thanks. for
Yeah,
coming.
yeah, and thanks again for having us
Thanks
out here.
for
And
bringing Texas and Rocky.
yeah, oh, yeah,
a lot
yeah,
of fun.
my pleasure. Yeah, again, just appreciate you guys letting us come out and do some work and get hands on. And
Yeah, and you've got Victoria's email, so if you come across something else that you think we should know about, just
Yeah.
let us know.
absolutely,
Cool.
yeah, I do enough exploring around here. Hopefully, I find some more stuff. And, yeah.
Dinosaur stickers, but we have museum mammoth stickers for you.
Oh, we got some stickers.
We have 2 different sizes. So. Thanks for coming
Oh,
out.
excellent.
Last year we had cool dinosaur stickers, and this
Yeah.
year they made mammoth stickers. So
Ah,
everybody
all
gets
right.
a mammoth sticker this
I
year.
like it.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks very much
Thank
for coming out.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
no,
we'll-
it was
we will
great.
probably
coming-
be we're gonna try to be back here again next year.
Okay.
So I'm happy to stay in touch if you want to come out for another day with us
Yeah,
this year.
absolutely.
Like certainly no obligation or anything, but
Oh, it'd
just
be
like
awesome.
if you'd like to pop out and see, then we're happy to have you. Like I said, we're not 100. We're doing a move of our museum starting
Yeah.
next year, so we may not be out next summer.
Yeah, and
depending
it
on-
all depends on my work schedule too. 'Cause
Yeah,
I work
sure.
a week on, week
Yeah,
off.
yeah,
so
yeah.
Some days
So-
it lines up perfect, like
Yeah.
this week. Sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But we'll stay in touch, and and if you do come down to Victoria in the winter, let us
Oh, yeah.
know, and we're happy to take you around the collections and
Yeah,
show
absolutely.
you some of the other stuff we've collected and what we end up taking back from here and everything. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that'd be great.
we
Yeah,
like
that'd
that.
be really
So
cool.
cool.
Awesome.
Great.
Well, thank you very much
Yeah,
for
thanks
having
again.
us.
You get nice dirty hands from
Oh,
work today,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you did a good job when you got nice plaster hands at the end of the day.
I
So,
think we're just getting invited along because I want Rocky in Texas to come again.
Yeah.
We did like Rocky in Texas. You guys can also be our crew members.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you guys as well. Yeah,
It was a lot of fun.
yeah, it was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Right, I missed one. Over here.
You guys did a
Yeah.
fine job pointing out footprints.
Yeah, thanks for having us again. And yeah, it was a great little trip. So
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
take
super
care.
fun.
Hopefully everything
Even if it
goes
was a
good
bit
over
hot.
here for you
The breeze
guys,
is
and
so
Yeah.
I'll see what I'm doing
When we
tomorrow.
over
I still
there,
got
it's
another
gonna
day
be
off yet, so
There's
okay.
a map to
I
this
might stop
side,
by and
mostly
do some more
last.
digging.
Sure, we'll be here.
Nice and in the shade.
Awesome.
Over there it gets a little cookier.
Right on.
sometimes.
Alright, well, thanks again. I can't say it enough, and
Yeah.
yeah, definitely
Cools
have
down a
fun.
bit. Yeah, I mean it's still just sometimes hard to just be like
Alrighty.
sun all day. Yeah. We have
But anyways, guys, I think we're out of here now. So again, if you like this, hit like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one.